Hey, Shalom Akim Shalom. First thing and foremost, let me give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakapadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and the apostles, the great millstone. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in this gospel, broad lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. And this is just like a quick lesson through the spirit. I would say almost like a spiritual rant, almost, but you know, what we do best, man. You know, we rebuke our people, our nation. We try to correct them, we exhort them, you know, sometimes without any avail, because, you know, let's face it, what proves that our people are the Israelites is the fact that they're so goddamn rebellious, man. Okay, Jake is just rebellious, man, and especially these stupid, especially these women. All right, I'm gonna just try to be I'm gonna try to be PC, but not PC, but I'm gonna try to be decent. I'll put it to you that way. You know, scriptures say to do things decently in order. So this just ain't gonna be a fuck you fest. You know, I'm all for those. But regardless of that, our people are just stiff-hearted, man, and especially these women. You know, see, Jakes feel because you look like them, or you know, you come from a place similar to them, they feel like they don't have to take heed and listen to anything that you say, because you have to understand that most people are under a spell. Most people are taken by the sorceries and the lies of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Like, people are literally walking zombies out of here, and soon to be physical walking zombies too, if they don't get out of that mindset, because allegedly some shit is getting ready to come down a pipeline. And no coincidence that the Most High have brothers going extra hard in this thing. You know, the elder brother Wamba, Yasha Wamba, Yashar Wamba. All right, but we affectionately call him Wamba. Very tranquil elder brother, you know, very humble. You know, I respect him to the utmost T. You know, just got a big heart. You know, shit. Very humble brother, man. You know, sometimes I sit back and I look like, man, bro, I don't know how you do it. You know, I'm like, man, you take a lot more than I can take, because, like, bro, like a lot of the shit brother endured in his truth, man. It's like, man, bro, I don't know if I could have done that, you know, and I'm just honestly speaking. But see, that's that ultimate spirit of a Judite. Okay, but when Jake get riled up, man, they're the force to be reckoned with. See, Levi, we're already roused up. We're already ready to do it. It's like, let's go. We with it. You know what I'm saying? But Judah, they're very, very laid back. They're humble. They're tranquil, you know. And they're leaders, of course. And when you rouse them up, your ass better run, because once you wake up a lion, it's a done deal, you know. But anyway, to say this, he did a very edifying video going into basically the SADs and the shit that's coming down the pipeline. And, you know, we try to warn Jake about these things and tell them, and they feel like, well, because you're not a certain benefactor to them in their immediate life, whether it be family, friends, exes, or, you know, wives or brothers, whoever it may be, they feel that, well, hey, you know, who are you to tell me anything, nigga? I ain't seen you, or you ain't talked to you in decades. Like, why are you telling me shit, you know? Friends, you know, people you grew up with. This is why I don't break my neck to teach people that I'm relatively close to. I mean, we've tried that. Clearly it doesn't work. But, you know, forget about trying to wake your relatives up, man. And I mean, if you reach through to them, then beautiful. But forget about teaching your mother or your sister or your brother or your best friend from across the street the truth. They're not going to get it, man. Okay, and they mindset, no matter what you tell them, they can literally see everything that's going on around them, but they will never take it from you, because at the end of the day, they live to discredit the men and the Lord, and the prophets always did that. Prophets always went through that, man. Okay, especially when they found out Yahweh Shai was doing miracles, they was like, wait, isn't this the carpenter's son? Isn't this Joseph's son? Now he's declaring himself to be the son of God. Who the hell is this guy? Because they too familiar with you, you know. They've seen you when when you rode your bike. They seen when you pissed in your diaper, when you shitted on yourself. They was at your 6th birthday party when you lost your tooth. They was there when you got beat up in your first fight, you know. They seen your drunk days, your sober days. They seen you cry. They seen when you didn't have no money, when you was catching a bus using fucking bus cards back in the day. We had bus cards, you know what I'm saying? So when they look at you now, all of a sudden, nigga, you who are you? Now all of a sudden you have some type of knowledge. Like, what can you teach us? Who are you? You ain't no different. We don't respect you. You ain't breaking bread with the family. So why do we have to listen to you? Because people equate your success based off worldly status, man, and not the spirit, because these people do not walk in the spirit. Okay, these people walk clearly in the flesh, and they're contrary to the Holy Spirit. So I just want to bring out this precept real quick. And I got a couple of precepts lined up, Lord's will. But this is the book of Matthew 7. Oh, shit, Salakia. This is the book of Matthew 7 and 6. And I'm going to start it. It says, give not that which is holy unto dogs, unto the dogs. Now, this is Yahweh Shai. Okay, he basically was talking to you Israelites. He called you a bunch of dogs. Okay, and when you call somebody a dog, that's basically calling them a heathen. Okay, because the heathens are counted as dogs. You know, they're counted as dogs. They're counted as nothing. And Jake, they come out of the spirit, or they come in the same spirit as the heathens. You see, because for the simple fact we've been around them. Okay, the Lord said in a place where he scattered us, you know, we've been scattered among the heathen. So Jake, they have the same spirit as the heathens, if not worse, because in Ezekiel is warned that they are a bunch of stiff-hearted and rebellious people, man. Okay, and we see that dealing with our people all the damn time. Okay, this is why Yahweh Shai say, give not that which is holy unto the dogs. He calls you Jakes a bunch of dogs, man, and I see why. Because a dog can be a very loyal creature, but these dogs, he was referring to something that was shameless. No humility, okay? No humility, no tranquility, no nothing. You know? They just a bunch of know-it-all, and the fact that, look, we got a job in America, this is what we is. These people don't want this place to be destroyed, man. You know? They don't care for Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. They don't care the type of message you're bringing to them, because ultimately it does not benefit them. See, this is the thing. You thought that basically you warning the world and warning your people what's coming. You think they was going to look at you as some type of man sent from God. In fact, you were going to be to blame for a lot of this shit. Okay, because see what Esau is going to do, and this is what he does. Esau watches Jake. He watches the people. Okay, he watches everything you see happening from the scandemic to everything they're getting ready to do now. Everything was a social experiment. Going back into that movie, The First Purge, everything was a social experiment when they sit back and analyze people. Like when you watch that movie, they cloned Tyrone, that was a social experiment they was conducting on Jake. And that's how they knew what we liked, what we listened to, how we like to dress, what type of women we deal with, because they watched. So therefore, when Esau was doing his dealings and doing his biddings, he's watching Jake. You see, he watches them and he knows how to put the spell on them. You see, but it says, neither cast ye your pearls before swine, lest they trample them on the foot and turn you and rend you. So at the same time, you telling these people this information, like, don't take the sticky Vicky, you know, don't deal with Esau's madness with his sign. Don't deal with that shit. At the end of the day, they gonna blame you for what's coming, because Esau is gonna scare them into submission to this NWO. Okay, and when they're submitted into this thing, they whole moniker and the whole goal for Jake in America is to get back to the way things were. Okay, this time that we getting ready to enter into does not merit them wanting our Savior to come back and deliver us. They don't want that. Okay, they want to get back to 1993. They want to get back to 60-cent chicken wings, man. $5 pounds of chicken wings. All right, 20 pounds of hamburger for $10. You know, hot links, hot tamales, hot links, flaming hots with cheese and fucking jalapeno peppers and meat. Jake want to get back to that. They don't want the Lord to come back. So their biggest thing now is, how can we get back to day one? How can we get back to the old days? How can we get back to $1.99 gas prices? How can we get back to $650 rent? How can we get back to clubbing? How can we get back to going out of town and being whores and being drug dealers? That's what they want. So ultimately, Esau is going to provide a false savior for them, which is that MOTB, man. And they're going to do anything in their power to get back to that, because Esau is going to scare them. It's going to scare the shit out of them with this whole ordeal, because people are going to start dying in droves. And guess who's going to be to blame? We are. We are. Trying to save these people? Man, fuck saving Jake, man. This is why we was getting on them other groups, man, because they so concerned about the whole nation of Israel. Hey, look, the Most High ain't concerned about the whole nation of Israel, so why should we be? Because 2/3, they just not going to get it on his side, man. Okay? But it says here, Give not which is holy unto the dogs, neither cast ye your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn again and rend you. Okay, and what's holy? This truth. You just can't go up to any common Negro and say, hey, brother, let me teach you the truth. You're a Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin, from the tribe of Issachar. They're going like, okay, what that's supposed to mean? Okay, because they don't have that connection. They don't have that calling, that conviction. To them, it's just like, okay. Because most of the people, they don't know how. They just knew the Israelites were a nation in the Bible. They never knew how special the Israelites into God, to the Most High was. And even if they did know that, they're not trying to put two and two together on how to make the Most High happy, because they've been in America too damn long. So they're not worried about pleasing Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Versus when we first came into the truth, when we learned we were the people of the Lord, shows you that it's a spirit that compels you to believe, man. Because when we believed, it was like, oh, wow. And instantly, when I found out I was an Israelite, I knew there was an obligation to the Lord. I knew it. Even if I wasn't ready to accept that obligation, I knew in my spirit, I said, well, I know this. That means that it must be a huge responsibility. That means no more bullshit, no more adultery, no more, whatever we was doing in the world, no more of that. Because even as a Christian, when you come into the so-called faith of that madness, they teach you, you're supposed to turn your life around and give it to Christ, right? Even though most of them don't do that. Okay, because they don't know what give your life and submit to the Most High. They can't distinguish between biblical laws and the Roman laws / American laws. They think it's all the same thing. They think that Yahweh Shai came and died so we could keep the customs of the Greco-Roman Empire, which is total madness, man. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful with these jakes, man. That's why it says turn again and rend you, man. Because, yeah, they accept it for a minute, but then they'll trample you on the foot. Because ultimately, hey, the Lord said, he said, because my word have no dealings in you. Okay? Words. Let me try to find that real quick. My word having no place in you. Place in you. I hope I can find it. Yep. John 8:37. Beautiful. Okay. So this is the book of John 8. And I'm going to start at verses 30. It says, and as he spake these words, many believed on him. Then said Yahweh Shai to those Jews which believed on him, if you continue in my word, then ye are my disciples indeed, man. And who's continuing in the word of the Heavenly Father sincerely in truth? The men you're seeing out there week in and week out on the highways and the hedges, doing this thing for real and not for gimmicks, not for clout, okay? Not for money, but the real sincere men, And it says here, and ye should know the truth, and the truth should make you free. Because here Jake is talking about all this equality and all this justice. But see, justice is in the scriptures, man, when you submit yourself to Yahweh Shai. But Jake don't want to go through the time of suffering. Jake don't want that longevity, man. Okay, they don't want that long. They don't want to go through that. They want it instantly. And in many ways, it's like, okay, we suffered long enough. But there's still something you must do in order to obtain your crown. And Jake don't want to do it. But yet Jacob spent a whole life trying to live hand in hand with the so-called white man, working dead-end jobs, trying to save his bank account, falsifying the taxes, getting in the corporate world. All these things Jake will try to do in order to keep up with Esau, Edom, but never obtain it. Here, nigga, 50 years old, he just bought his first house. 30-year mortgage, you ain't gonna be done paying it off till you 80. You probably be dead by the time you're 65. But yet you obtained the American dream you've worked so hard for. But you can't suffer a little bit with the Lord, right? See, that's why people got to go. But it says, then they answered him, we be Abraham's seed, and we never in bondage to any man. How sayest thou ye should be made free? See, that backbiting, that rebellion. And this is coming, Like if you tell somebody, look, don't take the icky vicky. Man, I got this. That's proud, man. Like, just shut up and fucking listen. Just shut up. But you think you're too good to take it from the men of the Lord? Because if you got it, you wouldn't have got the first one, dummy. And it says here, Yahweh Shai answered them, saying, verily, verily, I say unto you, whosoever has committed sin is the servant of sin. And now Jake is in bondage to sin. Jake wake up just to look forward to do wickedness. And the servant abideth not in the house forever, but the son abideth forever. But if the Son therefore shall make you free, ye shall be free indeed. And I know that ye are Abraham's seed, meaning he knew they were Israelites. But ye seek to kill me because my word have no place in you. And this is the reason why the 2/3 hate us, man. You know, they hate us because we tell them the truth, man. And they don't like it because deep down inside, they know they're supposed to be listening and following. But Jake is proud, they're rebellious, and they're emotional. And it says, and they answered and said it to him, Abraham is our father. And Yahushua said unto them, if you were Abraham's children, you would do the works of Abraham, which is faith. Okay. Abraham showed faith through works, you know, and committed himself into the Most High. But it says, but ye do the deeds of your father. Then say they to him, we be not born of fornication. We have one father, even the Most High. But Yahushua said it to them, if Yahweh were your father, ye will love me. See, and when you speak like that, because Jake is so high and mighty, they feel like, well, we got this already. That's that, look, nigga, we got it. We don't need you, you know, because they can't accept that. They can't accept that a man who they refer to as being lesser than or equal to could come with this type of authority. Like Apostle Tahar said with Priest Danya Allah, I believe that's that guy's name who did that video on the MOTB, you know, and basically he didn't acknowledge Apostle Tahar basically being the elders of Israel because he wasn't of the original 7, but he came right underneath the 7. So basically it's like a new branch of elders out now, which is the leaders of Israel. And Danya Allah can accept that because he felt, well, look, if we came up in the school at the same time, basically, nigga, you my equal. I ain't gotta listen to you. Well, you do gotta listen to men, okay? Because even out of Jesse's 7 sons, King David was the younger. He was the more younger son, man. And the Lord dealt with him and made him king over Israel and chose him over all his brothers, man. You know? And you had kings that people, they wanted David over them. And then you had some people who was like, nah, I ain't having this. This young nigga, this young punk, hell nah. This nigga ain't finna be over me, calling the shots, telling me what to do. And I've seen it countless of times, man, with older cats in these groups, you know, that just won't accept submission from a younger. They won't accept to humble themselves to younger men or men who they feel they got more than. Certain men won't even come around because they feel like, well, I'm not going to humble myself to you. But yet they'll take another approach to a bunch of reprobates, man, and get fucking destroyed after that, man. You know, all because of the pride. And this is what we go through with Jake, you know. But it says here, you will love me. It says, for I proceeded forth and came from Yahweh. Neither came of myself, but he sent me. So why do you not understand my speech? Even because you cannot hear my word. Okay. And that's the point. You know, you ain't hearing the word of the Most High. And I'm going to jump down a little bit. And it says, and because I tell you the truth, you believe me not, of you convincing me of sin. And if I say the truth, why do you not believe me? And they don't believe him because of the simple fact Jake is envious. Jake judges off the outward appearance. Jake judges off status, you know, and this is what they do. And it says, and if I say the truth, why do you not believe me? But he that hear the power or Yahweh hear it. It says, he that is of the Most High heareth most Yahweh's words. Ye therefore hear them not, because ye are not of the Most High. So, hey, brothers, count yourself blessed when these docile Jakes don't take heed to what the hell you're saying. Okay, don't get upset about it. Yeah, it's frustrating because ultimately you feel personally attacked. But it's not even personal at the end of the day. You know, it's not really personal. You know, it's just like, but enough is enough. All right. Last couple of precepts. This is the book of Jeremiah 18. And I'm going to start at verses 18. It says, then it said they, come and let us devise against Jeremiah. The law should not perish from the priest, nor the counsel from the wise, nor the word from the prophet. Come and let us smite him with the tongue, and let us not give heed to any of his words. And that's the spirit that these niggas come in all the time. And like I say, it seems like a personal attack on him, but ultimately it's really an offense to the Most High. Because when you offend the prophets, you offending Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. You know? But it says, give heed unto me, O Yahweh, and hearken to the voice of them that contend with me. It says, shall evil be recompensed for good? It says, for they have digged a pit for my soul. But remember that I stood before thee to speak good for them, and to turn away thy wrath from them. Therefore deliver up their children to the famine, and pour out their blood by the force of the sword, and let their wives be bereaved of their children, and be widows, and let their men be put to death. This is a curse he put on them, because he stood to speak good for them. Because ultimately, when we want to warn our people, we're trying to help them out, man. But they don't believe it because they're so engrafted in this society. And it says, I won't allow them to take heed to you. But it says, let their young men be slain by the battle and sword, be slain by the sword in battle, and let a cry be heard from the houses. And when thou shalt bring a troop suddenly upon them, for they have digged a pit to take me and hid snares for my feet. But yet, Lord, thou knowest all their counsel against to slay me. So forgive not their iniquity, neither blot out their sin from thy sight, but let them be overthrown before thee. Thus deal with them in the time of their anger, man. Okay? So that's the point, man. So with that, all praises and glory and honor is due to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. And with that, Shalom and a Shalom.